This lesson is determine the matrix is invertible. Here we have a matrix and we want to know, can this matrix be invertible? Is there an inverse? Okay, can we inverse this matrix? That's what it's asking. So rewrite the matrix. Here we have 1 and 0. Since it is a 1 and a 0, we just leave it alone. One more time. Since this is a 1 already and this is a 0 already, then we leave the 2 row alone. So the first row, leave it alone. The second row, leave it alone. And the reason why we leaving it alone is because this is a 1 and this is a 0. Okay, next we want this to be a 0. We want this -3 to be a 0. So the opposite of -3 would be +3. So 3 times row 1 plus row 3. So 3 times 1 will be 3. Subtract 3 gives me 0. 3 times -5, which is -15, plus 6 gives me -9. 3 times -4 will gives me -12. 12 plus 0 gives me -12. Okay. Next, we want this to be a 0 right here, -9. We want that to be a 0. So we're going to multiply +3 so that it will give me this 0. Okay. So 3 times row 2 plus row 3. Okay. So 3 times 3 will give me +9. 9 subtract 9 gives me 0. 3 times 4 will give me 12. 12 subtract 12 gives me 0. Okay, so one more time. We want this -9 to be a 0. So we're going to multiply another 3 so that it will become +9. And then subtract 9 gives me 0. So 3 times row 2 plus row 3. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. 9 subtract 9 gives me 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 subtract 12 gives me 0. However, if you look very carefully, there's a number here, there is a number here, but this spot is a 0. Since this spot is a 0, then it cannot be inverse. There will be no inverse, so it is not invertible. One more time. There's a spot here. We have a number. This spot has a number. This spot is a 0. Since this is a 0, it cannot be 0. Okay, so this spot cannot be 0. And since it is 0, it is not invertible. So therefore, there is no inverse to the matrix, to the original matrix. One more time. This spot is a 0. And since it is a 0, it is not invertible. So therefore, the original matrix, this is the original matrix, has no inverse.